Hi everyone, my name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today we're going to be playing through a game called Sonic Roll.
Yes, this game is designed by Anthony Thorp and published by Kess, who are helping sponsor this video. And in this game, we're going to be taking on the roles of Sonic and Tails, trying to work together to try to defeat the boss, known as Dr. Eggman.
Yes, this is a dice-rolling semi-cooperative game for 1 to 4 players in which we are trying to work together to race through a zone in order to get to the boss. Each time you play the game, you can choose a different zone to go through, which are all based off of the popular video game from the 90s. And at the end of the game, it's going to be whoever has the most points wins. Now, as per usual, we are going to start with a quick teach of the game, and then we'll go straight into our 2-player playthrough. If you'd like to jump around, we'll include timestamps in the description below.
Now, if you can all do us a big favor and turn on your Klingon subtitles, just in case we make any mistakes, we can add those corrections there. Lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So if you please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a 2-player game of Sonic Roll. Welcome to the Green Hill Zone. Now in this game, players take on the roles of the different characters from the Sonic universe in order to race through one of 4 different zones that come with the game and defeat the final boss. Although this is a semi-cooperative game, because as long as players were successful in defeating the final boss, at the end of the game, you'll all score points for the various things that you're able to collect, including the various rings, as well as animal tokens, etc. Now today, we are going to be playing through the Green Hill Zone, which is the suggested starting zone to play through. And each zone has their own corresponding set of zone cards, as well as badnik cards, which are the baddies that you'll have to collect and defeat. Now the way that the game works is each player will be taking turns choosing one of the roll actions available on your player board and rolling those dice. And so let's just say, as an example, as Tails, I choose my fly roll action that allows me to roll 4 yellow dice. Now during this phase of your turn, you're trying to build a dice pool that you'll be using to assign dice to the various zone cards as well as the badnik cards, which we'll talk about later. Now sometimes, like in the case of my fly roll action, there will be a multiplier, which means I get to roll 4 yellow dice twice to build my dice pool. And the reason why is because it says here, when rolling, I get to save matching pairs, but I must discard the rest. And if I don't roll any pairs, then I instead save any 1 die and I discard the rest. So there's a chance of me not being able to keep very many dice when I form my dice pool. So here we go. I have a pair of 6s, which means I get to keep these 2, and then I would technically discard the rest, but I get to roll another set of 4 yellow dice. So I'm still building up my dice pool when doing so. And in this case, I have a pair of 3s. So now I have a dice pool of 2 6s and 2 3s. Now, just as a note, depending on which character you play, you'll always have an option between 3 different roll actions, and they will be asymmetric depending on your character. So I'm not going to go over every single roll action on our 2-player boards. We'll discuss them as we play the playthrough. So now that I've built my dice pool, it is time for me to move on to the spending step of my turn, where I get to spend a die primarily on a zone card, but also on these badniks. Each character also has their own special ability, and so Tails here has Buddy Flight. At the start of each of my turns, I'm going to place a die here with a value of 2. And so anytime any player spends a yellow die, they can lower this die and add the amount that they lowered it by to their die value. So it makes the yellow dice a bit more flexible when Tails is in play. And as soon as you've decreased this all the way down to a 0, you remove it. But again, I get to place a new one here at the start of each of my turns. Now for the first half of the game, our primary goal is to try to complete the 3 zone cards that are attached to the act board. And so each zone card features several challenges. They're all sort of delineated by these columns. And the way that placing a die here works is you always have to start by placing a die on the leftmost available space. Now some of these zone cards show 2 options instead of just 1. And so in the case of these, then you would just choose one or the other. So as an example, this middle zone card here, I can either place a 4 of any die color, or I can place specifically a blue 4. Similarly, the top zone card here, I can place either a 3 of any color or specifically a yellow 3. And when spending a die, I gain the reward for that specific challenge. Because there were 2 options here, I would gain the reward that is closest to the die that I placed, which in this case would be 3 rings. Although, starting with the next die placement on this specific zone card, I now must follow the route that I chose, which is actually going to be the same thing regardless of which area I placed it on. This card here would actually be a better example. If this were a 4 and I were able to place it on this challenge spot here, the next placement on this specific card would have to be the 3 following this bottom route. So as you can see, there are several routes and you always have to follow the arrows next to the previous die that was placed. As soon as we reach the third challenge that's on this card, this is sort of a fork in the road, and now the next spent die can be placed either on the top route or the bottom route. Again, always following the arrows. And so that is essentially how dice placement on these zone cards work. And so just so you have an idea as to what sorts of challenge rewards you'll see, of course, you'll see the rings, and anytime you collect rings, this will go in front of the player who collected them. Rings, just like in the video game, are very important for when you take damage. We'll talk about damage again a little bit more later, but just so you know, anytime you take damage, you lose all of the rings in front of you. And if ever you have to take damage when you don't have any rings, then instead you'll lose one of your 3 health tokens. And at the end of the game, you're going to calculate points based off of what you've collected, and you'll also score negative points for each of these lost health tokens that you have, which are actually called death tokens, by the way. In addition to rings, you'll also see these feat symbols that correspond to boost tokens, and each player starts the game with 1 boost token. These will essentially allow you to re-roll your dice by spending them, and we'll talk about re-rolling a little bit more later as well. Going back to the challenge spaces, one thing I didn't mention are these bumper spaces that you'll see. When placing on the first bumper, you can place a die of any value, but the next die placed on the bumper next to it has to be the same value as the one previously. And if there's a string of more than 2 bumpers, they all need to be the same value. Now, speaking of this challenge space, some of the rewards that you gain will not always be good, such as the case of these bad nick symbols. These symbols correspond to the bad nick cards, and anytime you land on one of these spaces, you are required to draw one of these bad nick cards, and you must also choose a player around the table who does not have 3 bad nick cards in front of them to gain 1. So you are kind of spreading the the pain here. Now, bad nick cards are very important because they are quite bad. They each have a negative ability in the box at the bottom, and so as an example, the Moto bug over here says when you spend a die on your turn, if there are no blue dice in your dice pool, you must discard one of your dice, which would be the case for me since they're all yellow. Similarly, we have the Buzz Bomber that says rings cannot be saved at a star post, which we're going to talk about in a second. Now, there are a wide variety of these bad nick cards, and again, these are specific to the zone that you're playing, and so we'll discuss the abilities more as we play the game. But just so you know, instead of spending a die on one of the zone cards, you can spend a die on a bad nick card in front of you to get rid of it. Each bad nick card has 2 options for defeating it. There's always going to be a red value because the red dice are sort of special for defeating bad nicks. And so if you use a red die to defeat a bad nick, you also gain an animal token, which you might remember from the video game. Animal tokens are just going to score you 20 points each at the end of the game. They don't have any other in-game mechanics. Now, if you don't have a red die, you can use the other option for defeating a bad nick, but you just don't gain the animal token. But again, on your turn, when you spend a die, you're either spending it to place it on a zone card or a bad nick card. The other thing that's bad about these cards is they each have a reroll value on the left-hand column of the card. And so when we talk about rerolling our dice, these are going to be a danger. They will cause you to take damage if you reroll the values listed on the left-hand side, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, just to continue discussing the various rewards or penalties on these cards, in addition to bad nicks, sometimes you'll see this star post, which a bigger representation is this. They both do the exact same thing. Whenever you come across a star post, you have the option of saving your held rings. Whenever you accumulate rings, they just go into your held area, which means when you take damage, you will have to discard them all. If you choose to save them at a star post, then now they are safe. If you are able to win the game together, these will score you points. The only thing, though, is now if you were to take damage, you do not have the option of discarding the rings that were saved. But when reaching a star post, if you do choose to save your rings and you saved at least 5 of them, then you get to enter the blue aqua sphere bonus stage, which is also represented by this symbol. So anytime you see this symbol as a challenge reward or as a reward for completing a zone card, that also gains you access to this bonus stage. When entering this stage, your goal is to try to find the Chaos Emerald. And so we have a deck of cards here that all represent different Chaos Emeralds in the game. At the end of the game, if you're able to collect these cards, they're worth 50 points, which is a lot. They each also have a special ability that you can use by exhausting them, and exhausted Chaos Emeralds are worth fewer points, but still good because they're pretty powerful. So when going through the bonus stage, you're basically just going to choose one of these tiles to flip over. And you gain the bonus at the top right-hand corner, which in this case is just one ring. And depending on the type of sphere, sometimes you may have to just end there, or in the case of this specific sphere, you can flip over another tile. So this is a red sphere. It gains me a power-up card, which we have a whole deck of them over here. And power-up cards give you a lot of different things, and they're usually very good. A lot of them have these shields, which are fantastic. Each player can only have one shield at any time in front of them. And basically, shields protect you. So if you were to take damage before having to discard all of your rings, you would first have to discard your shield. So just an extra layer of protection, and it also gives you some sort of ability. In the case of the fire shield here, when you spend a die, it lets you spend a die of any color on a challenge that requires the red die. That's once per turn. There are a wide variety of different types of power-ups that we'll see, and we'll just explain them as we play the game. But just so you know, anytime you see that symbol, which can also be found on the challenge rewards on these cards, you get to draw a power-up. And in the case of a red sphere, I would stop flipping over tiles. Now, these tiles do not get flipped over until somebody finds the Chaos Emerald. And in that case, you would then reshuffle the tiles and recreate a 4x4 grid for a future time when somebody enters the bonus stage again. And that's the majority of the rewards that you'll see on these challenge cards. There are a couple of other ones that are bad, like this one as an example forces you to discard a die from your dice pool. And one really important one to keep in mind are anytime you see the black dice, that requires you to roll the black hazard dice. So the number that are shown in the image tells you how many dice to roll, which in this case is 3. And when rolling them, you basically take a damage if any of the values matches any values that are in your dice pool. This is actually great because none of the values here match any of the values in my dice pool, so I would be lucky and I would get away with that. Now, as soon as you complete a zone card, sorry, that was not legal, by fulfilling one route all the way to the end, so basically, if, as an example, on this zone card here, we only really need one blue 3 to be placed up there because the route would go all the way down to the end, to the act board here. Then the player who completed that card gets the corresponding bonus on the act zone, which is going to be either entering the bonus round or saving your rings at a star post or gaining a power-up card. And they also get to take the zone card. Now, at the end of the game, we are going to calculate a speed bonus, essentially, to see who helped fulfill all of the zone cards the quickest. And so for each of these that you have in front of you, it's going to give you +3 time. And you're also going to subtract time depending on these time tokens, which we'll talk about in a second. And whoever has the most time will get a bonus 100 points in a 2-player game. So this is not something you need to remember. Just keep in mind that you want to be the one to complete these zone cards so that you can have them in front of you, because this is a semi-co-op at the end of the day. Now, going back to a player's turn, once I've assigned one die by either placing it on a zone card like this or on one of the badniks in front of me, then I have a decision to make. I must decide whether I'd like to re-roll the rest of my dice so that I can continue to spend them, or I can choose to end my turn. The thing is, if I choose to end my turn while still having dice in my dice pool, then I'm required to take a time token. Time tokens at the end of the game, like I was mentioning, are going to be worth -1 time when calculating that speed bonus. But also, we only have 7 time tokens in this stack. And so as soon as all 7 of these time tokens have been taken, the game ends immediately and all players lose. So we have to be cautious as to how often we take these time tokens. However, if I do choose to reroll my dice, then I move into the reroll step of my turn, which is actually a bit risky. Because anytime you specifically reroll your dice, you're putting yourself at risk of badnik attacks. So that is when these values on the left-hand side of your badnik cards come into play. So let's just say I chose to reroll. Because one of my die values here is a 3, and my Buzz Bomber says a 3 of any die color gives me a damage, then I'm forced to take a damage. And in this example, because let's just say I did not save these rings, because I have rings in front of me, then I would be forced to discard them all. In addition, after rolling your dice, you're required to spend at least 1 die. And if you don't, then you also take a damage. Fortunately, in this game, there is a concept of invulnerability, which means when you take a damage, you're invulnerable for a little bit. When you take damage, you essentially cannot take another one until you spend a die or choose to re-roll them. Which means, because I took a damage by rolling a 3 here due to my badnik card, if I chose not to spend a die and just end my turn here, then I would not take a second damage. I would still take a time token for having leftover dice in my dice pool, but I would still only take 1 damage, which is nice. I hope that makes sense. If not, we are going to be demonstrating it a lot during our playthrough, but that is essentially how a turn works. As soon as I run out of dice in my dice pool, then that ends my turn anyway, and I don't take any damage or any time tokens. There are no consequences there. And so now that we've discussed the main elements of the game, one thing that I didn't mention is each colored die has a special benefit. The yellow dice are called jump die, and so whenever you spend them, either on the zone or a badnik card, doesn't matter, it gains you 1 ring. So these yellow dice are quite nice when you need to protect yourself. Blue dice are called run die, and the reason why is because when you spend them, you can spend another one from your dice pool without having to re-roll them. So unlike the yellow and red dice that require you to re-roll the rest of your dice pool after spending 1, you can basically chain spend your blue dice. And finally, the red dice are called spin die, and their main benefit are their use against the badnik cards, because badnik cards, again, will always have a red defeatable space, which gains you an animal token. And we basically continue playing like this until we can no longer refill the act board with zone cards. At that point, we're going to flip over the act board and we are going to reveal our boss that is specific to the zone that you're choosing to play. And this last half of the game is played a little bit differently. Here, we are trying to defeat the boss of this zone, which in this case is Egg Robo. And the way that this works is you're going to place these boss pattern cards equal to the level of the boss, which in this case is a level 2. So we're going to have 2 of these boss pattern cards per row. And it is played very similarly to the first half of the game in the sense that we're still rolling our dice and assigning them to these boss pattern cards. But instead of an entire route, these cards only require 1 dice placement to defeat them. But when placing a die, you're either going to choose the top route or the bottom one. So in this example, if I had a red 1 placement, I can place it here, and that would remove this card. Now, unlike the zone cards, nobody gains these because they're not going to earn you anything. And as soon as both pattern cards have been defeated in a single row, then now the boss is open to be attacked. But in order to attack the boss, you have to place a specific valued red die. And when setting up the boss board, you're going to place an animal token at the bottom here, depending on how many spaces there are. And so because Egg Robo is a bit easier, then there are only 2 lives here. And so if I had a red 4 die, I could place that there. The Egg Robo would take a damage, and I would collect the animal token, which again is going to be worth 20 points at the end of the game for me. And during the end turn phase of my turn, because I was able to hit the boss, then all of these cards would get refilled, which means you only have until the end of your turn to basically hit Egg Robo multiple times if you're able to clear off multiple rows, if that makes sense. Now, the last thing is whenever going up against the boss also has an attack card, which players are going to be rotating around the table. The attack card is essentially an extra badnik card that cannot be permanently removed, unlike the other ones. You can defeat it by placing the required value, and for the attack card, there's only one option, which is going to be a yellow 6. But once I do assign a yellow 6 to it, it gets flipped over. It does not affect me anymore for the rest of my turn, but I have to pass it to the next player, and now that player will be affected by that side of the card. And each boss is going to work differently depending on which zone you're playing, but we'll talk about the attack card more once we get to the boss, which we hopefully get to during our gameplay. But that is essentially it. As soon as players are able to hit the boss twice, in the case of the Egg Robo, then the boss is defeated, the players win the game, and then you go into final scoring, which is all written on your handy-dandy player aid here. At the end of the game, you're going to calculate each player's speed. It's going to be +3 speed per zone card that you're able to collect, and -1 speed per time token. And whoever has the highest speed will get that bonus, the time bonus, which in a 2-player game is 100 points. In addition, each ring that you have in front of you, either saved or unsaved, is going to be worth 10 points each. Small animal tokens are worth 20 points each. And if you have any death tokens, which are the exhausted side of a health token, then that is -30 points. So you have to be cautious when taking damage. And finally, any of these Chaos Emeralds that you are able to collect will score you 50 points if you did not use its ability, and 20 points if you did use its ability. And at that point, whoever has the most points wins. Now again, each time you play the game, you can choose a different zone to go through, but as for now, we're just going to go ahead and get a little bit cleaned up, and then we'll get started with our playthrough.
Okay, we have shuffled everything. We are ready to go. Now, the rule book says the first player is the person that is the fastest at the table. We have never officially raced, so we are going to go with random.
Oh, okay.
Ready? Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. All right,
Oh, it
Monique,
is me.
fastest.
All right. Well, today we're playing as the dynamic duo Sonic and Tails. And as Tails, my 3 roll actions are fly, spin jump, and propeller tail. I'm sure I'll be using them all while we play the game, so I'll explain how they work later. And as for my special ability, I have buddy flight. And so at the start of each of my turns, I'm going to place a die at this spot here set to a 2. And anytime any player around the table spends a yellow die, they can lower the result of this one to add that amount to the die that they're spending. So this is going to be very useful. Once it hits 0, then I remove the die. But again, I place this die here at the start of each of my turns.
All right, and today I'm going to be playing as Sonic. So my 3 different types of rolls are Super Peel Out, we have Spin Dash, and Drop Dash, which of course I'm going to be trying to do throughout the course of the game. And my special ability is Insta Shield. So I can basically exhaust this token once per turn and exchange a blue die into a red die. And then I can also change that red die result by 1.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Now today, we are going to be racing through the Green Hill Zone, which is the recommended zone for your first time play. And in a 2-player game, we're going to have a total of 8 zone cards, and we are going to face the boss as soon as we can no longer replenish this area. All right, and I think we are ready to begin. Are you ready? All right, here we go. First turn, roll action step. Now my 3 roll options here are basically all of one color. So I'm going to be choosing between all yellow, red, or blue. The first area here of each zone does have a blue option, which is tempting, but I also don't have any coins.
Sure.
Now the good thing though is if I choose the propeller tail, during the reroll step of my turn, I gain a yellow die if 2 or more dice were spent since the last reroll, which honestly sounds pretty good. So I'm going to choose my propeller tail. And since it's the start of my turn, I do have my buddy flight die over here set to a 2. All right, so I have my 4 blue dice, and I'm going to build my dice pool. Here we go. All right, here we go. So my dice pool is 1, 5, and 3 2s.
That's a pretty good roll, I think.
That's not bad. I might not be able to use my reroll ability via the propeller tail because the 3 2s here are looking pretty good for this section right here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So now I'm going into my spending step, and I think I'm going to start by assigning a blue 2-value die to the top route in the top zone area here, which, by the way, gets me a boost token because that is a reward up top. Thank you. So now I have 2 boost tokens, which is nice. Now, since I'm using these blue run dice, I can continue spending them without re-rolling, which is great because I have these 2 sort of bumper symbols that both will require the same value. So I'm going to assign another 2 to this first bumper here, which is going to get us both a bad Nick card.
They're coming no matter what.
They were going to come no matter what. I guess I'll take the first one. Sure. This is Buzz Bomber. Rings cannot be saved at a star post. Okay, I have plenty of time
to deal
to deal with that. And in order to remove it, I need 6s, but I can't re-roll a 2. This one's for you.
For me,
oh,
okay.
You have...
I also have a Buzz Bomber, but rings cannot be saved at the star post, is exactly like yours. And mine just require 3s, though.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know.
And you can't re-roll 6s, basically.
Nope.
Okay, so then I'm just going to continue spending because I assigned a 2 to the first bumper. The next bumper must be the same value, so here is another 2. And that is going to gain me 3 coins.
Good.
Which is great because now I have some protection, right?
Yeah, those coins are ring-like.
Super. Yes, sorry, 3 rings. And speaking of rings, there is another spot right here that requires specifically a blue 5, which I have, so I can gain another 3 rings. No re-roll step needed this time around because I ran out of dice.
Yeah, you did good, though.
So that is going to end my turn, and now it goes to you, and you can basically spend all 2 value of this yellow die here.
That's true. So I have no rings to protect myself. The way I see it is if I go into here to the bad Nick, that's a problem. Here, I definitely don't want to go down to roll to the black dice. So I think I'm going to want to use my drop dash over here, which is going to get me 3 yellow dice.
Here you go.
And the reason for that is because if I want to progress on this card going this way, that one requires a 2 yellow. So I think that seems pretty good. Now, what I can do with the drop dash is I can spend whenever I spend yellow, I can gain a blue die if it's spent on a zone card.
Which is nice.
So here we go, my roll phase. All right, good thing. I have some decent stuff. So I could assign this 3 to the Buzz Bomber and just be done with it. Or I can assign the 2 to kind of continue up on this track.
Okay.
I think I want to just be done with this Buzz Bomber because I know I will be re-rolling.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm going to assign the 3 to it right now. And then I do not get this animal token, unfortunately.
You don't. Now, you will have to re-roll this.
I will.
Before you put it out. You don't want to go to the bonus round, the bonus area?
No, I'd rather have some protection because if not, if I roll a 6, then I'm going to have a problem.
Okay, so then that gets discarded.
It does, but I did spend a gold die, so that means I do get myself a ring because
That's
that is
right.
the jump die.
That
so
is-
now I have a protection, a little buffer.
Yes, that is specifically the yellow die's benefit.
So this Buzz Bomber is out.
Yes, and the die goes out as well.
Now I'm in my reroll step because these are not blue dice. I can't just go and reassign them, so I
Right.
do have to reroll. Hence why I wanted that Buzz Bomber out.
Okay.
There's a 6. That would have been really bad. Well, this is a bad situation. I cannot go down any pathway that has a 6, and I cannot even manipulate this dice down to a 4.
Right, because my buddy flight does not allow you to wrap a 6 to a 1 and vice versa.
Yeah.
Only Amy's specific ability lets you do that.
Amy's a different character in the game.
Yes.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to use my boost token so I can do a reroll here. So off
I mean,
it goes.
at least you don't have your bad Nick card, so there really is no risk.
That would have been a really bad situation had I had the bad
Yes.
deck, not been able to do anything. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to reroll. Let's
Okay.
just get something better.
Okay.
All right, 3-3.
Oh, you can work with
I
that.
can work with that. Yeah.
Because you can use this.
I will, yeah. So I'm
Turn
going
it into a 2.
turn this 3 into a 2.
Okay, so
So
bring
I'm
this
gonna
down to
go
a 1.
onto this spot. Now this allows me to play kind of the mini game over here.
Yes.
Now this is the Blue Sphere bonus stage from the video game, if you are familiar with it. But first, I get a couple things for spending a yellow dice.
Oh, yes.
Of course, I get a ring.
All right.
All right,
There you
so I
go.
have 2 now.
Uh-huh.
And then because I use drop dash, anytime I spend a yellow dice on a zone card, I get a blue one.
There you
So I'm
go.
going to roll it as part of my supply. There you go, 2.
All right. So you have a yellow 3 and a blue 2.
Okay, so I
All
get
right.
to now go into the bonus stage.
Yes,
here.
are you ready?
Yes.
So again, your goal is to try to find the Chaos Emerald.
Yes.
So we're going to be flipping over these tiles until we find it, essentially.
I'm going to flip this one over.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not find it, but I do get a power-up card.
All right.
So I'll take that.
There you go.
Let's see what I get. All right. It is going to be a super ring. It's immediately gain 5 rings, discard. Sweet.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you go.
That's great.
5 rings, and now this goes out.
Out.
So you have a lot.
All right, I got
You
some
have a lot of
rings.
rings there.
Yeah, and I'm only 1 step away from the save point right there, so I can save these rings if
That's
I want.
true. Now, because Naveen flipped over a red sphere, this immediately ends the bonus stage,
Mm-hmm.
but any flipped over tiles will stay flipped up until we find that Chaos Emerald.
Yep. All right, time to re-roll. I do not want to quit here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we're going to roll it. Please be something good.
Blue 6 and yellow 4. What do
Mm.
you have here?
All right, unfortunately, it's not the 2 I was looking for, and I
Yeah.
did spend one of your pips. So I am actually going to spend your that
final
pip
one?
to make this 4 into a 3.
Okay.
I'm just going to plop myself down here, getting more rings. I
So-
wanted the boost token, honestly.
You get a total of 3 rings, 2 for the reward, and then 1 for spending the yellow die.
Yeah.
And let me get you another blue die right here. So
All
now you
right.
can sort of do the fly. I mean the run, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But just so you know, 1 die is technically being re-rolled, and the other one is just regular roll.
Regular roll.
And this is important for when you have a bad nick in front of you. All right.
All right. Fortunately, I don't have a bad nick. All right, there's that 2 I was looking for. Oh, perfect. So I will place this 2 out onto this spot here.
Okay. So now a couple of things happen. The first thing is your reward. So you've reached a star post. And anytime you reach a star post, it looks like this. If this is too tiny, you can choose to save your rings. Now it is all or nothing. And again, rings sort of act as a defensive shield for you. So if you choose to save your rings, they're all going to go into the bank.
I'm going to save them.
Yeah, it's
this
pretty
is going to
nice.
be worth 10 points per ring, I believe. So
Yes.
this is 100 points here because I have 10. So I'm going
That's-
to keep all these. But now these are not going to be protecting me anymore.
Correct.
So these will just stay kind of with me down here.
Okay. Now, the thing that's great for you is if when saving your rings, you save 5 or more, then you get to go to the bonus stage, which you'll be able to go to again for completing this this top zone here. So why don't you go ahead and enter?
All right, let's do this. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, a boost token. Very nice. I'll
Yeah,
take
it's
that one.
Another red sphere,
Yeah.
but here you go, boost token.
Yeah, I
and
spent
now
mine earlier.
your bonus stage immediately ends, but because you completed this top area here, you get to visit it again because that's the reward there. And you also gain this zone card. So
Yeah.
this is going to be worth some speed at the end of the game for you
I'll
to
take it.
determine some bonus points.
Yep.
We're going to get a new zone card to refill up here, but why don't you go ahead and enter the zone
The zone
again.
All right, let's get this one. All right,
Oh,
another
this is
boost
different.
token.
So the difference between the red sphere and the bumper sphere is that you still get the bonus that's at the top right-hand corner, which is a boost token. But now you can continue looking.
Keep it going? All right, let's just keep going down the line. All right, okay, we got another power-up card.
Red sphere, power-up card for you.
Let's see what we got here.
What do you have?
Bubble Shield. Okay, so I can avoid a reroll single die once per turn. And this acts like a shield, which is great.
Yes.
So if I take damage and I have rings and this is the one that has to go first.
Correct.
So
and
I'm
each
gonna
player
keep
can
that.
only have at most one shield at any given time.
There we go.
All right, and that ends your bonus round because that was a red sphere. But you do have one more die left. So that is a new zone that you can choose to play to immediately.
All right, let's roll this thing up. I do still have my Insta Shield from Sonic. There we go. A 5. Okay, so what I will do is I am going to use my Sonic Insta Shield. This is a one-time per turn thing, so I'm going to exhaust it. And I'm going to convert this blue die into a red die, and then I can change the result by 1.
So 4 or 6.
I'm going to make it a 4.
Okay,
And then what I'll do is get started on that new zone card.
Red 4.
And we're just going to put it right here, which is going to get me another power-up.
Wow, you're having a wild turn.
Yeah, we got to get to that boss, you know?
You're doing so much more than I did.
All right, so this is a 1-up. It's gain a die.
Oh, what color die would you like?
Yikes. I think I will go with a yellow die.
All right, well, there you go. So this gets discarded.
Instantly discarded.
Your die pool was almost done.
Yeah.
But now no longer.
I know.
So you gotta.
It's a curse,
roll it.
actually.
It's a
1.
1. Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, I do not like this result. I'm gonna have to use one of my boost dice to, our boost tokens to re-roll this.
Okay.
So here we go. 5. Oh, perfect. That was best case scenario. So now I'm gonna assign this here.
Okay.
Because it's a yellow dice, I get 1 plus the 2 benefit there.
3 rings for
Die
you.
versus dice. I still can't figure it out. All right. There we
It's
go.
hard.
Yeah.
English is hard.
That is it.
Okay, well, that is it. Your dice pool
I
is now
am
empty.
officially done. I don't have to take a time token.
Perfect. This is great. We're not using any time tokens right now. So then it goes back to me. And I do have a few rings here. So it would be nice to be able to continue this route to get to that star post.
Sure.
Oh, but these are awful. You sort of sent me down a route of pain here.
So the thing is, this one right here, if you can do this on your very last assignment, then, you know, these black dice will never match whatever you assigned. So it's
if
kind
I
of a good
don't
thing.
have any more dice in my dice pool,
Yeah,
basically. So
it'll be
maybe I'll
perfect.
save that for last.
Sure.
Maybe neither of us will work on that card for a while.
You do get that the buddy flight die,
That's
which
right.
is nice.
I do. So I think I'm going to fly because I would like to remove my bad Nick card, and it's going to be either yellow or red. And my fly ability here, or my fly roll action ability, says that I am going to roll 4 yellow dice, and I'm going to do it twice. And the reason why is because when I roll these dice, I save matching pairs and I discard the rest. And if no pairs are present, then instead I save any 1 die. So my potential for not having very many dice is a little bit high,
Come on.
but I'm hoping for some
Go.
pairs.
Okay, you got 2
Okay,
pairs.
I have one
Yeah.
pair, a pair of 4s. So I save these and I discard the rest.
Okay.
But I do it again.
Right.
So I'm still building my dice pool here.
Good luck.
So thank
Another
you.
pair.
Please, pair.
3s.
3s.
Perfect.
Okay, that was pretty good. I was able to accumulate four dice.
3 is
in-
great
in
because
that.
that's exactly what you need here if you want to save.
That is true. So I have 2 3s, 2 4s. And just like Naveen mentioned, I will do that.
Yeah,
so I'm
for
going to
sure.
place my yellow 3 up here. That gets me a ring because it's a yellow die. And now I'm at a star post. And I'm going to save these because Naveen has a ton of
We're
rings.
working together here. It's just
Same.
arcade mode. We just want
We're-
to see who's going to score the best.
We're working
but
together, kind of.
We're totally working
There's
together.
still some points to be had at the end of the game. Okay, so now I'm in my reroll phase. I have to reroll these, unfortunately.
If you roll a 5, that'd be
because
great.
I would love a 5. Oh,
5.
Here we go.
Perfect.
So, oh wait, I can't forget about my bad Nick. So if I roll a 2, then
Yeah.
I take damage. Ooh, that could have been bad. That could have been really bad.
So are you gonna mitigate the 5 to a 6?
I think so.
And just be done with this?
I think that's more important, right?
think
so.
so.
I'm gonna turn my counter down to a 1, and I'm gonna turn this into a 6. I'm gonna assign it there. No animal token, unfortunately, but at least this
Oh
is.
no,
Oh wait,
Monique, you have a penalty.
I do have a penalty.
There's a penalty there.
Hold on.
Hold the
Let me just
phone.
take this back.
You
so
saved
this
the
goes
Klingon subtitle.
back to a 5. My rings, the rings still, I still get to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
But rings cannot be saved at a star post.
Yeah.
So you know what? It doesn't really change anything.
That's
I
still the
still
path.
assign the 3. I just don't get to save my rings at that star post.
Yeah.
So I will still do this for my turn. I'm going to, and the reason why, if it wasn't clear, is because my Badnik has that ability that does not allow me to save my rings. So I'm definitely going to do this now.
Yeah. 'Cause
Turning
you've
this
seen the punishment.
into
Yeah.
6. Yes, I felt the pain from that.
off they
I'm going to
go.
assign that there. I still get a ring for
do.
assigning my yellow die to
Yeah.
a Badnik card, and now this gets removed. Oh, what a shame. I could have had all these points.
I know.
Okay. Well, I still have dice, so I'm going to
Good luck.
re-roll
I
them
hope you get
now.
a 5.
Now there's no risk.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Okay. I have a 6 and a 4. So I will spend this last this last value here. Sorry, Naveen, you don't get to use it.
Oh, no, it's fine.
And I will turn this into a 5. Doesn't really matter which one I use. I'm going to go up this way.
Okay. So you're going to get 3 total rings.
I get three rings.
Again, 1 for the yellow die, and then 2 for the actual
for the
spot.
actual reward. And I have one more die.
Yeah, so you're looking for a 2 would be nice because that's that kind of situation that we said that you would not have to roll for these really.
But if I roll a 2, my options are sort of tough
Bad
here
nick
because I
or-
could get a bad nick, but also complete the zone because I want that zone card. So please just give me a 2.
A 1.
A 1.
It's no good.
It's
you
no
You do
good.
have a boost token.
I do have a boost token. I have 2 of them. I'm going to use 1,
Okay.
actually, because if I don't, I'm going to take a damage for not being able to spend this die, which would remove
your rings.
all of these rings. So
I hope you get a 2 or a 3.
Thank you.
Those are literally your only options.
that's very kind.
Okay, you didn't get
I
that.
didn't get it. Okay. I think it might be worth it to use my last boost token.
Okay, good luck.
Just because I don't want to take a time token either.
You need a 2 or a 3.
2 or
That's the only
3.
thing that's going to help you
Yeah,
here.
my chances are sort of bad
They're not
here.
good.
They're not
No.
good. Here we go.
3. Okay. Perfect.
Not great, but
No,
but
we're
at
moving.
least I can still keep
We got to
going.
get through these zone cards.
So I'm going to assign it here because that is the route that I have to take up top here, and that is going to get us Badnik cards. So one for me. This is Neutron. Okay, blue dice have no property, which means I can't do the chaining. You can't run with them.
Oh, I'm glad I don't have that.
And the damage taken here is on a 6 or 1, specifically yellow though. So that's mine. Now you also get a Badnik card.
Moto bug.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can spend a die or spend a die.
No, it's when during your spend
Oh yeah,
phase.
there you go. Lose a die if no blue are in my dice pool.
Yes.
So I'm looking to get some blue. Oh man,
You have to use blue.
that's rough.
Basically.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That is the end of my turn because I no longer have any dice, and now it goes back to you.
Me. All right, I think I'm gonna go with the spin dash, which is gonna start me off with a blue and a red.
Okay.
And let's explain this.
All right. So the reason why there are a lot of question marks here is because when using this ability during the roll phase, you basically have to repeat rolling these dice until 2 results in your dice pool match.
Yeah.
So Naveen is going to roll a blue and a red. And if they don't match, then he'll roll another blue and a red and basically keep doing this until he ends up having a pair.
Essentially, I do not want any pairs.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. So you have a 3 and a 2. This is in your die pool.
Yes.
So
So
you're
now,
gonna-
like a 1 and a 6 would be great.
Yes, exactly.
A 2 and a
Okay.
3. Okay. Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
You have 2 results that are matching. You have more than that. So that's it. So that is your dice pool. But the thing that's nice is you're going to avoid your Badnik ability since you have blue in there.
And I'm going to get a little animal here because I'm going to assign this red to that 3/3.
Oh,
Boom. So I'm going to get myself a nice little animal token.
nice. That is
here.
going to be worth points at the end of the
It
game.
is, yeah. So
Don't forget that you get
oh, yeah.
to flip that over
This is
each
supposed to
turn.
be flipped over. Perfect.
All right. So that is
Off you go,
out.
Badnik. All right, now I must re-roll here. So let's go ahead and roll it up.
Okay.
114. Okay, these aren't great. I would love to get to this 2 spot here with the red. So I'm going to use my Insta Shield to convert this blue into a red and
Okay.
then manipulate it by 1.
So a 2 a 2
So
red.
making it a 2. I'm going to line it up right there, and then I'm going to get myself 3 rings.
3 rings. There you go.
And we
1,
got
2,
to keep
3.
on pushing. So, all right, let's
Okay.
go ahead and roll it up again.
All right. So
Ooh,
blue
4 and
4,
a 2.
red 2. You can complete this card, or you can roll some hazard dice.
So
it's up to you.
what I really like about the situation here is I'm going to go with the 4 and because I can keep going after spending a 4, then I can put the 2 on that one.
That's true.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put the 4 here. So now we are going to have a game.
You're gonna enter the bonus.
We are. So
stage.
let's go ahead and take this one. Oh,
You found the Chaos
Chaos
Emerald.
All right. So essentially we have a deck of cards here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and draw one. So I have the Chaos Emerald here. So now this one, 2 blue dice and ignore all damage until you reroll. If I choose to exhaust it, then it's going to go face down and it's going to be only worth 20 points at the end of the game versus not using it and it's going to be worth 50 points at the end of the game.
Correct. That's
nice.
nice.
So let's just keep that nice and neat there. Perfect.
All right. Well, because you found the Chaos Emerald, we have to flip these over and reshuffle the tiles. So we'll see you in a second.
Sure. All right, it's all shuffled, so we are now going to continue on. Now, because I used a blue die, I am going to continue my quick die run. So I'm just going to use this too. Now, Monique, unfortunately, you're going to get a bad nick, as am I.
Okay.
But we are going to wrap this thing up right there.
All right. So bad nick for you first, and then for me. Now, when you have that that reward there or that consequence, you actually choose a different person around the table to receive a bad nick, but because it's a 2-player game, then it's basically just me.
You are the different person.
So you want to
I got the Buzz Bomber again, so rings cannot be saved at a star post.
Okay, and I have another neutron.
Okay.
So same thing. I guess that's good because I was already facing that
same consequence.
That consequence. That blue
you have a
dice
lot of yellow penalties.
have no property.
You cannot be rolling yellow.
I can't roll yellow.
Now I finished this zone card, so we are going to go into act. So now I'm going to go here.
This is completely reshuffled.
All right, let's go with this one. Okay, so I'm going to get myself another one of these.
You get a power up.
It's a shield. Now, you can only have one shield, so it's my choice as to which one to keep. The lightning shield. Reward. Replace the challenge reward with 2 rings once per turn.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. So we're going to get rid of the bubble shield.
Okay.
Off that goes.
Oh, were you using this ability?
No, I didn't use it. Well, I didn't need to use it.
I think you had used the boost token when you had this.
Don't remember now. That's
okay.
You snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose. So anyway.
Lose. Now I'm going to take the zone card. That's going to wrap that up. And then now we put it out with a new one.
We have a new one. Here we
There we
go.
go.
All right. So that ends your turn then, right? No more
done.
dice for you?
Yep.
So I don't really want to roll a yellow dice because of my bad nicks here.
You should go for some red. Maybe you can get some animals.
The thing is, my red roll action ability here, my spin jump, says whenever I spend a red die, I gain a yellow one. If I spent it on a bad nick.
Yeah, that's not good.
So
Blue then?
blue also gets me yellow dice.
Oh,
so I guess I have my answer here. I'm going to go with a spin jump.
Yeah.
So that is 3 red dice.
Yeah.
And I just roll them.
Roll
to
3 or
create
5.
my dice pool.
Oh, don't
All right.
forget you have the
have
the tail.
Ones and sixes, and I'm not rolling any yellow, so you can use this. Well, this is bad because I basically have to spend this on this card because
nick.
if you cannot spend a die when you roll them, then you take a damage.
Yeah.
So this is going to get me my 3rd bad nick card, and that is the
second.
maximum amount that you can have. It is Chopper. If you complete a zone card, replace your act board reward with the hazard die.
Yikes.
Ooh. This, I am feeling the heat of this right now.
Yeah.
So you also get one.
I also get one.
Don't think I've forgotten about you.
I know. So another Buzz Bomber.
Okay.
Rings cannot be saved at the star post. Okay, so I just need to not roll 3s and 5s apparently.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and re-roll these 2 now.
Good luck.
Thank you. 6
Oh,
and
you
5.
got 5. Okay.
So I can go here and give you another bad nick since I'm already maxed out.
This is a co-op.
Or I can remove either my neutron or my chopper. I think I'm going to assign the red 5 to my bad nick card here because this bad nick replaces my reward if I complete a zone card, and the only other option was completing this zone card. I don't want to roll a hazard die.
Yeah.
So I do get an animal token for that.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. And where am I? I wasn't able to save my rings, huh? Well, this goes out, and because I spent my red die on a bad nick card, I gain a yellow one.
Good luck.
So now I must re-roll these, and I'm hoping that
I hope you roll a 5 or 3 red.
I'm hoping that I don't roll a 4 or a 2 on my yellow die. Please don't. Not nice, actually, because my chopper bad nick card is a 3. So I think I might lose my coins, my rings. Yes, unfortunately, that is the case. I must lose my rings because I am taking a damage for re-rolling with a 3. Yeah. Now, I am invulnerable at the moment, so I can't take another damage if I, say, decide not to assign any of my dice. If I do end my turn here, though, I will take a time token, which is minus speed at the end of the game.
I think you should definitely assign that 3 red to that neutron.
To this one?
Oh, yeah. You get another little animal, and it takes the yellow penalty off your back.
It's true. The only thing is I would be forced to re-roll that red, and I just can't roll a 3 again.
Well, you would assign the red, right? So that goes off.
Or, I mean, my yellow, I guess.
Yeah, and you would gain another one because of your spin jump.
Right, and I can't re-roll a 3 if I were to re-roll them both. So let me do this. I'm going to assign this.
Okay, so you're going to get yourself a little animal.
I get an animal token.
There you go.
I also get a yellow die, which I'll do that with. And to clarify, because this yellow die was new to me in that last roll, this is not the one that forced me to take damage. This is the one that did. So this goes out. And if I want to continue my turn, then I would have to re-roll this. So I'm basically counting on this not turning into a 3, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Since this just entered my dice pool.
I will say what is nice is since you have this 1 and you have those 2, you could get to this boost token right there.
That's true. I do still have to re-roll, though, before I can assign that.
Good luck.
Oh, thanks.
Just don't be a 3. Just don't be a 3. That's it.
Okay, don't be a 3. That's it. Okay,
Perfect.
that was great. Yeah, my chances were pretty good there, I guess. So.
And by spending a yellow, don't forget, you also get a ring to protect you.
Wait, where did we say this was?
So if you can go to this...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you
I would
spend
have to
your 2,
spend this down. So I'm going to spend 2 of these pips. So this goes out. This turns into a 3. And now I get a boost token, a much-needed boost token. And a much-needed ring. So I have some protection here. I just don't want to lose any of my life.
So what's good is, this one, it requires a blue die, unfortunately. So you cannot go to that north section
I can't. But I can go to the hazard direction.
Totally.
Or I can just stop here and take a time token if I want to be extra careful.
So you can only really roll a 2, a 6, and a 5.
A 2, a 6, or a 5.
Most of them are
not
bad
a 3.
nicks. So what does this penalty say? Instead of taking a bad nick, you would roll that's actually kind of good right now, isn't it?
A hazard die.
That's great, because you would have nothing.
Should I just re-roll this? What do you think, Naveen?
Yeah, I think so.
I never know. I never know what
think so.
chances to take, what risks
you also have a boost.
to avoid.
Yeah.
I'm going to re-roll. Here we go. 6.
Okay, 6 is good.
Where is that?
So if you go down here, you would replace the bad nick with a hazard die.
It's if you complete a zone card. So it would have had to be here. That's fine. I'm going to give you a bad nick card, your third one.
Right.
So I have Moto Bug here. If there are no blue dice in my dice pool, then I must discard a die.
Okay.
So this one's yours.
Oh boy. All right, what do you got here? Neutron. Okay. Blue have no property. Oh no, must reroll to spend another die. So that's not good. That means I can't just keep going with the blue die.
Yeah,
that
the
was
blue
my
dice
plan.
don't have that ability.
All right. Well,
you are living in the land of bounty right now.
this is a co-op, Monique. So we
with your Chaos Emerald, your Lightning Shield, which is your second shield, by the way.
Yes, it is.
All these saved rings. Okay. Anyway, that is the end of my turn. So now it goes back to you.
Okay, starting my turn, I need to remember to untap this thing. So now I have my Insta Shield back.
Aha.
All right, let's go ahead and get the Super Peel out. Let's get the blue.
Okay, so that's
6 dice.
6 blue dice. There you go.
So this is the first time I'm actually using this. Now what's going to happen is after I roll, I'm going to discard the lowest dice that's in that pool. And if there's multiple of the same, then they all go out.
Yes.
All right. And I don't want to roll a 5 or a 3.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things to avoid.
That's during your reroll phase,
Yes, I know.
though. Okay.
Okay, so 1 goes out. So
Okay.
that's my lowest one.
Yep.
Off it goes.
And that is nice.
That's
Look
a
at
pretty
your
good
dice pool
distribution.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think right away, I would like to be able to use my blue die the way that they're meant to be. So I'm going to assign this 4 blue onto this.
Okay.
Avoid that penalty. Off you go.
And now that immediately goes away. So
Goes
you
away.
can now continue to assign your blue dice if you'd like to.
Well, I think I want to keep going because I want to avoid rolling 5s and 3s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assign this 6 here.
Okay.
Now, here's the moment that I could say that, do I want to save these rings?
You can't. We're not going to make that mistake again.
But legally I can't, so I will not be doing that. So I'm just going to keep pushing on.
Okay.
So because that botnick's out, I can continue on. I am going to assign this 3 here.
It's a bad nick.
Bad nick.
So
yes.
your power up.
All right, power up. Invincible. Okay, so this is not a shield. Discard 1 die and ignore damage. So this is a discard at the end of my turn. So if I'm going to take damage right now, I can just offload this and not have to get rid of my shield or any of my coins.
Right. So this is only going to last for now.
Rings, I mean. Rings.
Yes.
Okay, so there we go. Okay, I think I'm going to press on by spending this 2 down here, getting myself 2
Can you
rings.
do that? Oh, this is where it forks, right?
Yeah, that's where it forks,
okay,
yeah.
so you're going down this
2
way.
rings, yep.
So 2 rings.
That's it.
Great.
We're trying to get to this
Can you
boss.
assign this final 3?
I don't
somewhere?
think I can. I think
Oh.
I'm going to have to roll it.
Well, you can use your Insta Shield.
To turn it from 3 to a 2. Okay, I will do that. Let's do it. So I'm going to use the Insta Shield. I'll turn my blue into a red and manipulate it by 1. So I'm going to turn it into a 2.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do with it is place it on this mid one here. And so now I have to roll 3 hazard dice.
Yes. So technically, when you roll hazard dice, you roll them, and then if any of their values match any of the dice in your dice pool, then you would take a damage. You no longer have any
That is
dice
not the
in your
case.
dice pool.
So that is that. I
Very
do
good.
not have to take a time token. I have used all my dice, so I am done with my turn.
Well, it is back to me. I need to complete some stuff.
You do.
I need to remove some bad nicks. And I need to add my ticker here. Okay. So my bad nick here requires me to have blue dice in my dice pool or else I lose some stuff. So I'm looking at my propeller tail. Yeah, let's go with it. So
luck.
4 blue dice. Thank you.
All right.
Here we go. So I don't have to remove any of those. During the reroll, I get a yellow die if 2 or more dice were spent since the last reroll.
Okay, so you can assign it to get rid of that chopper bad nick.
What chopper?
This one right
Oh,
here.
yes, I can. With my 5. I can't really assign it anywhere else. So, I guess I could go here, but it would get me another bad nick.
Yeah.
It would get me a power-up, though, and a much-needed zone card, so that's tempting.
Yeah, I was supposed to get rid of my invincible because this was discard at the end of my turn, so I just got to remember that.
Okay. I think I'm going to assign it to my chopper
Yeah.
because its ability, again, when I complete the zone card, requires me to roll a hazard
And
die.
you're so close to the zone
So,
cards, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to go out. No animal token for me.
Sure.
And now I think I have to re-roll because nothing takes a 2 or a 6 in blue.
Do you gain a
So-
yellow? On
No,
a
it says
reroll?
since the last re-roll.
Reroll.
So this is my first re-roll.
Okay.
I am hopefully,
No 3s, no 5s.
well, if I do get a 3 or a 5, it's fine because I have 1 ring. So I have a 3.
There it goes.
So I rolled a 3, which means I take a damage. I'm just going to discard my 1 ring, my savior ring. And honestly, this feels way too risky to do anything with. So I'm going to end my turn.
Yeah, take a time
Because
token.
I'm not assigning a die, technically I would need to take a damage, but I already took one from my reroll bad nick here. So I do take a time token, however, which is -1 speed when calculating our zone bonus
Yeah,
at the
that's
end of
fair.
the game. So that's it for me.
Okay. All right, so my turn again. We are going to reactivate the Insta Shield. And so now I need to get rid of these by either rolling reds or yellows. So I think I'm going to go with my drop dash. So let's get
Okay.
3 yellow.
So three yellow dice.
3
there
yellow.
you go.
All right.
And I have this for you to use.
You do, yeah. So, okay, that 4 will work out for me. So I'm going to assign, with my drop dash, I'm going to assign this one here. So that's
Okay.
going to get me a ring.
Yes.
I do not get the animal, unfortunately.
There you
but
go.
Anytime I spend a yellow die, I gain 1 blue. Only if
spent on a zone card.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right,
at least that's out.
That's out. Okay.
And now you must re-roll these. Do not roll a 3.
Do not roll a 3. Yes. All right. There we go. Okay, 5.
2 5s.
Is 5 something?
5 is something here.
Bad nick time,
Yeah,
huh?
you would give me another bad nick. Ugh, I can't escape. But you would get another power up.
I would. Oh man. Well, or I can assign it here and just be done with this.
That's true.
All right. Let's do that. Let's get rid
Okay.
of it.
Here's your ring
Off
for
it
assigning
goes.
that. Okay.
And then
what
now
else?
I must roll, huh?
Yes.
So I'm looking for a 1, or a 5.
Yeah.
But I have your dice to manipulate, so I'm gonna do it.
That is true.
1.
1.
Perfect.
Wow, you roll great. Now,
Okay, Monique.
uh-huh.
That I want you to have safe zones here. So
Safe
I'm
zones.
gonna go here to this spot.
Oh, okay.
That way you can get this boost token and actually finish and get to that game. This is a co-op after all.
I mean, that's very helpful for you because you can save all these beautiful coins.
I could.
Would you like
Well,
to?
would you rather me go and get the boost, and would you rather have the coin saving spot?
It is a semi-co-op. This is still competitive at the end of the day, so I would
Yeah.
rather you further your score.
Okay, well, I'm gonna further my score by saving all these goblin coins here, these rings. Look at
Because
that.
you saved at least 5, you gain access to the
All right,
bonus
let's go to
round.
this corner here. All
Okay.
right, so I get a power-up card.
Here you go.
Okay, what do we got?
Red
It
sphere.
is, looks like Eggman Mark. Choose a player to draw a bad nick.
Oh my goodness, Naveen.
Discard.
Naveen.
Oh,
Be kinder
this is
to
a
me,
semi-co-op portion of
please.
this. Okay.
I get another neutron.
Yeah.
Blue dice have no property. All right.
I did not want this for you,
Thank you. That gets discarded.
but it gets discarded.
And that's the end of your
That's
turn.
the end of it because I did a red sphere.
Perfect. All right, back to me. It looks like we are getting really, really close to finishing the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am in dire need of coins. I also don't really think I've been playing my dice very well. So
There's always this
that
next turn for
might
you.
be a big part of it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to use my spin jump because I can try to knock out some of my bad nicks and it'll get me a yellow die if I do so.
You want to roll a 2.
I want to roll a 2 or maybe even a 1.
I think a 1 or a 2.
We'll
Yeah.
see. So here we go. 3 red dice. Please.
1.
A 1. That's nice because
There
I
you
can
go.
finish this zone up here, which will allow me to go to the bonus level. So I'm going to do that. So I'm assigning my red 1
Okay.
up here.
So
This gets me
a
a
boost.
boost token. Thank you. And I also finish this card. So I'm going to enter the sphere bonus, the blue sphere bonus stage.
Okay.
And let's just flip this one. Okay.
All right.
So it's a power up card.
Power up. I hope you get a shield.
Oh, thank you.
Something good.
I get a 1-up.
Okay.
So I gain a die.
Of your
And
choice.
this gets discarded
Yeah.
of my choice.
Uh-huh.
So
Another red, maybe, to get rid of these?
yeah, I think that's the safest bet because my bad Nick cards will gain me a damage on blue and yellow specifically.
Yeah.
So let's just avoid that. And then I will roll this since it is initially getting added to my die pool. Doesn't count as a reroll. That's a 1. And I'm going to re-roll these 2. So this goes out. I guess it didn't really matter
No, you just
because
roll them all together. Yeah.
I didn't have a risk here. So I have 1 6 and 2 1s. Oh, and actually before I do that, I'm supposed to take this card.
Oh, yeah.
So this gets cleared off.
Oh, yeah, you should have a totally
I
another
should
option.
have a new option. Yeah,
there you go.
exactly.
This is
Thank
out.
you. Is this my first?
First
this is
one.
my first
Yeah.
zone card.
Here, I'll just kind of keep mine. I have 2 so far.
All right. So we have a new zone card up here. Oh, it's looking for a 4.
So these are, again, all my saved coins. Let's just keep that over there.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, this is not the greatest roll. So I'm going to use one of my boost tokens now.
Just got it
And
to
I'm just
use
going to re-roll them all
Yep.
because I don't want to take another bad Nick
Yeah.
right now. I
2.
already have 2.
2.
All right.
Perfect.
So I have a 2, which I'm going to use to defeat this bad Nick card because it's going to gain me a yellow die. And oh, you know what? I was supposed to spend a die previously, so I'm just going to remove one
Okay,
now.
one out,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter because I don't get to re-roll. I guess it would have affected the re-roll.
Yeah,
part.
it technically would have, but, you know, what are you going to do?
So if that wasn't clear, by the way, my Moto Bug Bad Nick card says when I spend a die, if I don't have any blue dice in my dice pool, then I have to lose a die of my choice. So I just removed one. Technically, it would have affected the reroll, but
Yeah.
in the spirit of fun, we're going to just remedy it that way.
Sure. Do you want to be done with that moto bug?
This one?
Yeah,
I think
that
so.
seems to be a problem.
I think we'll do this one instead.
All right. It's the same difference.
Same
Still requires a
difference.
2,
I
and
get
you
an
do
animal token.
Yep.
Thank you. And now this is out. I also gain a yellow die
Which is
because
good.
it was spent on a bad Nick card. So the yellow die, well, I guess it doesn't matter
Yeah,
right now.
you
So I'm
can
just
roll
going
it
to roll them together. So here we go. A 1 and a 3.
So now you can manipulate.
I can manipulate this because of my buddy flight.
The only thing is there's nothing to manipulate.
I can't really get it anywhere.
Boost?
I'm going to boost it.
Okay.
So I'm spending my boost token. Now we're going into danger zone, though, because if I roll a 4 or a 5 on this yellow die, then I'm going to lose a health because I don't have any rings.
Good luck.
Thank you. Here we go. Please.
3.
3.
Okay, that's actually a really good roll for
So
you.
it's not a 4 or a 5, which is great. Although I can use this. Now I have a decision to make because I can spend this down to gain the 4 coins, or I can just remove that. You know what I mean?
Oh, remove that.
Remove this.
Oh, yeah. Because you're going to get your reroll anyway, and then hopefully you can be able to manipulate it into this 4.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it. So I'm going to
you go.
spend this on the bad Nick card.
Which gets you another
It gets
gold.
me an animal token and another yellow.
Another yellow. There you
So
go.
thank you. All right, this is out. Oh my goodness.
There you go. You're
That is so
clear.
nice. Okay, let's go, yellow dice. This is a good spot to be in right now. Okay.
So
So
now
the
that
1 and
4
a
is not a
4.
penalty.
This 4 is definitely going up here. So this requires a 4 of any color.
You're going to get 5
I'm
total
going to get
rings.
5 rings, 4 for the spot and 1 for the die.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4,
There you go.
5. Oh my gosh, that's nice. All
What's
right.
good is no matter what, if you go down this pathway,
Yeah.
it's a success.
But
So
it's a time token.
it is a time token. But if you roll a 6 here, then you get 3 more rings. and
Oh
you get us
my
moving.
gosh, that's
6.
but
6.
6.
Hey, 6.
Wow.
There you go.
Suddenly luck is on my side.
So that's going to get you another 3 plus 1.
Yeah, another 4 rings.
Your
wow.
ring,
that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Your ring abundant. There
I'm
you
ring
go.
abundant. And the thing that's nice for you is this is still there.
It is.
All right, that is the end of my turn. So now it goes to you. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I want a gun for this blue over here. I want to avoid having to take multiple turns. I'd like to just go up this way and then kind of shoot it down like a ladder.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting about this bottom route is it's easier, I guess, to hit the first one, but it's all bad until you get to the very last one here.
Which I have no
It's
rings,
like
so there's no
time
really-
token, bad Nick card, and then save spot.
Yeah.
So
I think, okay, I'm going to go with my super peel out, which is going to be a bunch of blue. So
6.
6 blue.
here you go.
The
This
goal is to roll only one
6.
lowest value.
Okay.
That's not good.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
That's 4 ones. They're all your
That was
lowest
the
value.
exact opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I did roll that 6 that I was talking about, so I'm going to go here.
Okay.
I'm going to get myself a boost.
Very good.
Oh boy. Okay, so I am going to do. Should I do it?
What?
Should I exhaust this to turn this into a red, make it a 4, and then slide down to this bad Nick card area?
I guess.
Or
I
how
don't
about
want
this?
a bad Nick
I'll
card.
just do this
but-
instead. How about that? Boom.
Oh, okay.
Now I get to go to the little mini game.
Is that the
here.
aqua sphere? Yes,
Yeah.
that's the blue sphere
All right,
bonus.
let's go with
Sage.
this middle one right here. All right, another card.
Power up card for you. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, it's
the
another shield.
Okay, so this one says it's a blue shield. Damage. When this shield is discarded, you may instantly end your turn without a time token. Ooh.
Oh,
I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to kick out the lightning shield that I had, and
Okay.
I kind of like that.
The blue shield.
The time token I'm not too worried about, but I kind of still like the opportunity to
you are pulling all
use
the
it.
shields.
Shields, yeah.
And I don't know if you ever played Sonic as a kid, but that was the best thing to run into those shields.
get a shield?
You hit it, and then it kind of shrouds you, and now you're good to go.
I didn't have Sega growing up, so I had Super Nintendo. So I'm out of dice, and it's going to be back to you.
All right. Well, what do we have here? I can finish it off with a 5. I don't have any bad Nick cards, which is great.
It has to be done.
So then, is it time to move to my propeller tail, the blue dice?
Sure.
You know what? I'm going to go with fly because I can take advantage of my buddy flight. So this is a 4 yellow dice that I
You want pairs, right?
will roll twice. Yes. So save matching pairs, discard the rest. I don't have any pairs. That's bad. So it says instead I can save any 1 die. So what do I want? That's the question. If I want to finish it off, there's a 5.
Well, there's 4, 4, 5. So the 6 is the only thing that you can manipulate down to a 5. Or
I
the
guess
3
I'll-
up to a 4.
It's true.
It's the same difference.
And the thing is, both of these 4s will get me bad nicks anyway, so I might as well save the 6 and finish off this card.
Totally.
So these all get discarded, but actually, I get to do it one more time because it's ×2 on that fly. And we have 2 2s. So this is my dice pool.
Okay.
It's 2 2s and a 6. So then I think I'll just do what I said. I'm gonna move this down by 1. So this is gonna be at a 1 to be able to turn this into a 5. And I'm gonna place it on this last spot here. We each get a bad Nick card.
you
So I have Chopper. If you complete a zone card, replace your act board reward with a hazard die.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's going to happen right now.
That's gonna happen right now. And you get a Buzz Bomber. Rings cannot be saved at a star post.
Yeah,
So
that's okay for right now.
there you go. All right. Well,
keep
this
this
is really
here.
bad. So oh no, hold on. It's too. This doesn't happen right now.
No, it's on the reroll.
Oh no, it does. It does because this is the act board
Yeah.
reward. So instead of a power up, I have to roll a hazard die and hope that I don't roll a 2.
Don't forget to collect your coin, though, for spending a yellow.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My ring.
Ring.
The fortunate thing is both of these dice show a 2. So the chances are better.
Yeah, you have
right?
a 1 in 6 chance of bad luck.
But the bad thing is I don't get a power up card. Okay, here is my consequence
And
instead of my
Anything
reward.
but 2.
A 5.
All
Okay,
right.
so I'm good.
Very good.
Okay, so I don't get the power up, but I do get this card. And
So we both completed 2 cards now.
both completed 2
all right, you're
cards.
making a little comeback.
I have
on
one
the
time
semi-co-op.
token,
Yeah.
though, so you are still ahead of me on speed. And here we
Ooh,
go.
that's a good looking route.
That is a good looking route. So we only have one last card in the deck. And so as soon as we are unable to refill the zone area, then we go and face the boss.
Right.
So here we go. I have to re-roll these and hope I do not roll a 4.
6 would be good.
A 6 would be good. Here we go.
What are we looking for?
Please.
3s.
All right, 3s. Oh, both 3s. Okay. So, it's bad Nick, and can't get
And
there.
physically impossible. Yeah. Bad Nick?
I might as well go with this bad
Yeah.
Nick route, right?
Yeah. Because you're getting close to saving rings, but you can't save rings with that.
Why?
Because that penalty is going to turn your ring saving ability to
here.
a black cube.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't try.
That's fine because I have no rings.
That's
so it's
true.
not like I'm going to go in there and snake that from you.
All right, I'm gonna turn this into a 4. So this goes out.
Yep.
And I'm turning this into a 4, and
So you get a ring, though.
I guess I'll go here. I get a ring, but I also get a bad Nick.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Here we go. Moto bug.
Oh, that one.
If no blue dice are in your dice pool,
We've seen it.
then I lose a die. But I've already done my spend, so I don't have to do that now. You get a moto bug as well.
All
So
right.
we are
Moto bug.
both bad nicked out. So I must roll this still. I kind of wish that was in effect for this die
Yeah.
because I don't want to roll this.
1.
I don't want to roll a 4.
You want to roll a 1?
I want to roll a 1. Please.
6, 4, 1, 6.
6.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
You get the boost.
Why did I want a 6 again? Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get a ring and I get a boost token. Thank you.
There you go.
I think that's it. So I end my turn. Look at all these rings for ones. I really want to save them. All right, it's back to you.
Okay, so yeah, because you have no dice in your die pool,
Yes.
This does not have to go into effect for you.
Right. So the spend phase only happens as soon as you spend a die. So that nothing happens there.
All right, knowing that I have this moto bug, it wants me to have blue.
Maybe your spin dash.
I think I'm gonna go
some
spin.
red
Yeah, I
dice?
think I'm gonna go spin dash. So this is
Okay.
the one where I don't want to make pairs for quite some time.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
5
so
and a 2.
5 and 2.
All right. So here's another one. No 5 or 2. 5.
Okay, 5, 4. So
That's
this is my pool. All right.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and just keep it in here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to deal with this moto bug anymore. I would like it to be gone, and I like this little animal to save. So I'm gonna put this red 5 on top of it there. I'm gonna get
Okay.
myself a nice animal for scoring, and then this bad nick goes bye-bye.
All right.
Off it goes.
So now that you're going into your reroll phase, you don't want to roll any 4s
No 4s. Yeah.
because you don't have any rings. Oh, you have a shield.
I have a shield.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
Good luck.
Okay, no 4.
Oh, no 4.
I do have a 1, and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go 1 here. It's
Okay.
going to get me a boost,
Uh-huh.
and then that's going to complete this card. Now my option is to save. I have no rings to save. This is all my saved previously rings.
This is your stash.
My stash.
Your bank.
Right, like that. So
Okay.
yeah, that's going to be that.
So that's it. So I guess that's good.
It's good.
That's good. So
Yeah.
this is in your
Scoring card.
pile.
Yeah.
And now we are going to refill with the final zone card.
Okay.
And once any of these cards are completed, then we will move to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a blue die that you assigned,
It was, yeah,
which
but
means you can continue
I
assigning.
can, but there's no 6 that I can place it on.
Right.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to re-roll. Hopefully I can roll a red 1.
Okay.
A red 1 would be nice.
That would be nice.
No.
Blue 1.
Blue 1. I did roll a 4.
You
I
did.
get a little owie here. Okay, damage. When this shield is discarded, you may instantly end your turn without a time token.
Okay.
I think I'm going to just say that. Yes, I will do that.
you're gonna do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already going to lose it on a damage, so I
Okay.
might as well just do this.
So your
End
blue-
my turn.
Your blue shield has protected you,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's not clear, it says there's a keyword here that says damage. So if Naveen were to take a damage, he would discard the shield, and he has the option of instantly ending his turn without taking a time token.
I will do
because
that.
again, time tokens are -1 speed at the end of the game for calculating the 100-point bonus for the zone cards.
That's true. So, okay, that's going to be it for me.
All right.
And it's back to you now.
Thank you. I think I would like to roll something that can help me out with these. So let's go with the spin jump again.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do my buddy flight.
Just be aware
So-
that you won't have any blue in your pool, so you will lose a die, but that's okay.
Yes, that's what I want,
Okay.
actually. I don't want to have, sometimes it's not a good thing to
Yeah.
keep on having these.
There you go, did
Well,
it.
that removes that.
which is good, right?
It is good, but I was sort of going on this thing about how it's sometimes good to remove dice. But anyway, that's still good.
You get a
I get
little
an animal
animal.
token.
There you go.
Thank you.
That penalty's gone.
And I also get a yellow die because that's what my spin jump does for me. Now, this is important because this card is going out. I still have my chopper that now that I'm going into my reroll phase, I'll take a damage if I roll a 4. Because I'm just getting this yellow die, it's excused from that.
It's not part of the
So
reroll.
it's not part of the reroll, so I need to roll it separately.
Okay.
Okay, so now these two are
So you no
are at
4s,
risk.
a 6 would be nice.
A 6 would be great, but just no 4s, please.
There you go.
Yay, that's
6.
awesome. Okay, so the 6 is definitely going here. I get an animal token,
You're
please.
just saving animals.
And I get another yellow,
yellow die for it.
which I am now going to re-roll all of them together. So this goes
Out.
yeah. Okay, so now no re-roll risk. Here we go. 614. It's tempting to go to the 4 up here and just try to complete this card, but I don't want the Badnik card quite yet. If I could do that on my last die placement, that would be best. So I'm going to spend this down to a 1 to increase this to a 2, and I'm going to take another boost token and a ring.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to re-roll these.
So you're looking for 2.
I'm looking for a 2.
Got it.
I got a 2, which I'm going to place over here.
It's going to be 4 rings
So
total. 3
4
for
rings.
the spot,
1,
plus
2,
1 for the
3.
yellow.
4. Okay.
All right.
And then my final roll.
Yeah, you're going to need a 4 or a 5.
4 or 5. That is wildly specific. It's a 1.
You have to
Okay.
boost it.
Huh?
You're going to have to boost it.
I don't have to because I could go down here
Ooh.
and just set you off this path.
Me off this path? Monique, this is a co-op.
Do you want me to boost it?
Yeah.
I'll boost it once.
Yeah.
And if I don't get the thing that I need, then I guess we'll deal with it at the time. Okay, that's it.
All right.
So I'm going down this way.
Okay.
It's 2 hazard dice, but I don't have any more dice in my dice pool, so I'm just going to end my turn there.
That
And
works.
there's still 1 here for your usage, by
me,
the
huh?
way.
All right, so my Buzz Bomber says rings cannot be saved at a star post. That's okay. I have no rings to be saved. I think I'm just gonna go with the blue. I'm gonna go
Blue?
with my super peel out, 6 of them. Hopefully I don't roll like I did that one time with all those ones.
There you go.
All right, my lowest one goes out, and that
It's
is gonna be
a
that 3. There
Wow,
we
that
go.
was great.
That's makes up for that last one. All right.
Nice dice pool.
So it's a bunch of 4s and a bunch of 6s. So, wow. I don't like this penalty, having this many dice.
Yeah. You want to just continue
Yeah,
there?
I think I'm going to continue there. Yep. So I'm going to
Okay.
go 4. Bad
So,
nick to both of us.
Bad Nick for you. The
Ooh,
chopper.
The chopper. All right. If you complete a zone card, replace the bonus basically with
With a hazard die.
Yeah.
And for me, a chopper
same
as
thing.
well.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can complete that zone card.
Now I'm worried about 5s and 4s.
You could at least continue this because of your
I do have my
insta shield.
insta shield. So I think I will. Well, I think I can complete it.
Why?
I think I can use my insta shield to turn this 6 into a red 5.
But then it would no longer be running.
Ah,
'cause
it would no longer
it's
be
a
running.
red.
That's true.
Only the blue dice
I'll do
run.
it. I'll still do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
So you're turning that into a red 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Red 5.
There you
And
go.
then that red 5 is going to go onto here. And unfortunately, I lose a die of my choice, or I just lose a die.
Yeah.
So off
It
this
doesn't
one
matter the
goes.
color because you have to re-roll them anyway.
All right. So I am looking for a 4. The funny thing is, I will take damage if I take a 4. If I do a 4, I need a shield
That is
somehow.
tricky because you already used your insta shield.
I did. Well, let's just go ahead and roll it up. See what happens.
Okay.
All right, a 1 and a 3. Not a
Yes.
penalty here.
But
ooh,
Can't
also
place it
can't be
anywhere.
placed.
Oh, that's interesting. You can't place it anywhere. So you could either boost or you could end your turn here. But again, if you do not assign at least 1 die after rolling, then you do take a damage, which in this case would be one of your 3 health tokens.
Boosting it.
Okay.
Let's go. All right, ready?
Yes.
4 and 6. Okay,
Okay.
so, well, it looks like I'm taking a damage, unfortunately.
What of your health?
Off it goes, yeah.
So that is going to be minus 30 points at the end of the game.
I could have used the Chaos Emerald, but this is worth 50 if I don't use it. And when you flip it and use it, it's worth it's going to be minus 30 on that, so it'd
Yeah.
be worth 20. So it's the same difference technically. So I'd rather use this when we get to the boss potentially. Well, I'm gonna put this 4 onto this. I'm gonna get myself 3 rings.
3 rings.
which I
1,
could have
2,
used for that damage.
3. There you go.
That is gonna finish that.
That is going to finish that, but you do
good.
get to enter the bonus
arena.
stage.
All right, let's go down here. All right. Ooh, we got a little boost.
You
All
get a
right,
boost,
yes.
and you get to keep
I get to
going.
keep going, yeah.
What if you find another Chaos Emerald?
What do you think? I'm gonna go here. Let's go with this one.
Okay.
Another boost. All
Another
right,
boost.
Boosting is good.
But that is it. That ends
it.
That also ends this. So you take that card.
Yep.
We cannot refill.
Yeah.
Which means we are going to enter the boss stage now.
So I'm realizing I made a mistake. I remember I have the chopper, so that says basically I do not get to enter that little bonus arena.
So what did you gain from that?
2 boosts. I gained a boost here and a boost here. I was not supposed to because of chopper. I was supposed to do this. So
You get a hazard die
I get a
instead.
hazard die. So I'm actually supposed to roll it and
So
see.
you return your boost tokens.
I returned my 2 boost tokens.
And it's okay that we flip them over because we're essentially not going to be returning to this stage anyway.
There we go. Okay.
5.
I'm glad I did not roll a 6.
Yes, because that is the only die in your dice,
Yeah.
your dice pool, right? Okay. All right. Well, we are now going to set up for the boss fight. And the way that that works is we're going to go ahead and discard these because the zone is no longer applicable. Instead, we're going to flip this over to the boss egg robo themselves. And when fighting the boss, we now have these boss pattern cards as well as a boss attack card, depending on which zone you're playing. So at the bottom left-hand corner of the boss card here, it tells you how many boss pattern cards you're going to place in each row. So in this case, it's going to be 2 cards per row.
Yep.
And each of these cards are basically 1 hit in order to remove it. And so it works the same way as these zone cards in the sense that there are 2 routes, it's either the top or the bottom, and you have to choose one when attacking. As soon as we are able to remove both pattern cards in one row, then the boss is susceptible to attack. And you would have to assign a red die to that row's spot, which in this example would be a red 2 as an example. Now, our current boss has 2 health, which is down here. And each time the boss is hit, that player gets to collect the animal token. And once both animal tokens are removed, then we win, hopefully. Now, the unfortunate thing is we also have a boss attack card, which we are going to be passing back and forth. It's essentially a badnik card that you cannot permanently remove, unlike the other ones. And if you're already a max, by the way, of 3 badnik cards, will technically be a 4th.
Yep.
So it starts on the side that has a number 1. Because Naveen is still the active player, because you still have this 1 die in your dice pool, then I'm going to give this to you. And this is now currently active. So the Egg Robo boss attack card here says when you take a dice action, you discard a die with the highest result. You can defeat this attack card by placing a yellow 6, but if you do, then it just flips over to the other side, and this will no longer apply for the rest of your turn. And instead, when it goes to my turn, it'll get passed to me. And now I will have to fight this side, which says at the end of your turn, place a new pattern card at the end of each route.
Yeah, so essentially whoever the active player is going to have to deal with the boss.
Right.
They're kind of in your zone.
And also, it says here when the boss is hit, all players draw a badnik. So we cannot forget that. And also, when the boss is hit, at the end of that turn, all of these routes get refilled. So we have to be cautious of the timing. Preferably, we'd like to hit the boss twice in the same turn, but that'll be difficult to do.
It will. Well, since I spent a blue earlier and this 6 is here, I'm just going to place that on there, destroying this one of the 2 cards to get this boss a little susceptible. So
nice.
This goes out. There's no penalty associated with it, which is good.
Yeah, these are only penalties now. So... All right.
And so the Egg Robo says dice action, discard a die with highest result. There is no more dice left in my dice pool, so I am done.
That's right, because the dice action step is the start of your turn, so you got to pretty much bypass that.
I did.
All right, so that's the end of your turn?
That's it, yep.
So that gets passed to me, and now this will affect me when I roll. So what do I want to do? I have this badnik, so I mean, all 3 of them will be susceptible to any of the colors, or all 2 of them.
It's a little shame that the 3 that you need to destroy this here is the 3 that's going to penalize you there.
Right. I want to say the fewer the dice, the better, just because they require specific colors now, unless I want to take a penalty, is the thing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to do my spin jump.
Okay.
So it's 3 red dice.
Okay.
So here we go. I must discard a die with the highest result.
6.
Which is going to be one of my 6s.
Okay, yep.
Okay. And so this goes to a 2. Why?
I don't know.
Oh, because I don't really have any options. Oh, that 5.
Yeah, that's not bad though.
Yeah.
Because like
I have to roll 2 hazard dice.
2 hazard dice, and as long as it's not a black.
As long as
6,
it's not a 6. Oh my
you're
gosh.
good.
Here we go. Please.
There you go.
2 5s. Okay, that's
Perfect.
great. Okay, so this card goes out.
Perfect.
Now
They're susceptible.
to attack.
Got
So I would have to roll a 4.
Roll a 4. Roll it.
A 4 or a 3, just not a 1.
4 or 3.
4 3, not a 1.
Come on.
4 3,
Good
not a
luck.
1. 6. Okay.
Boost?
Yeah.
Oof, man.
This is my last boost token.
I think we're going to get destroyed.
This is going to be really hard. 4 3, not a 1.
4.
4.
Nice.
Okay. So should I just attack?
Yeah, it's either attack or weaken this card, but what else are we doing this for if not
Attacking them.
attacking them, right?
Yeah, I think we might as
Perfect.
well, right?
Yeah, hit it.
So, boom. I've hit Egg Robo once. I take an animal token, and all players draw a badnik.
Yeah, that's not
So, I get the
good.
neutron.
Ooh.
The blue dice have no property.
Okay.
So, that's pretty much
It's not too bad.
And you get a moto bug. So, when you spend a die, if no blue are in your dice pool, you got to discard one.
Shoot.
All right. So, I'm going into my end turn step.
Okay.
Because we hit the boss, we're going to refill this side. The other 2 are already at their max according to the boss level, which is 2. So we don't have to add any boss pattern cards to them.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
That's not bad, right?
I don't know, kind of bad.
These 2 have to be the same number. These 2 can be a different one because they're not
Yeah.
the same route.
Right.
So the Egg Robo will go to you.
So I'm maxed out here. I got an Egg Robo boss card and 3 badniks. So
Yes. tread carefully.
Now I'm hurting. Okay, I'm just gonna keep
We
that there.
just need to hit them one last time.
I know, but
and
the
then the
penalty
game will
is.
be over.
Oh man. Okay, so I need blue.
Yeah.
I don't care about rings being saved here. The only problem is blue. I get hurt pretty bad over here.
You need
Yeesh.
you need a red to be able to hit them.
I don't think I'm gonna make it all the way there with a red though.
I mean, the thing that's nice is you have your
Oh,
insta
yeah,
shield.
I do.
So you could always use it as like your last.
I guess I'm just worried
Effort?
about taking damage because it's like I have this, but I have no other shield. But we got to go for it. Let's go for
Okay.
it. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Let's go super peel out.
Super peel out?
Yeah.
All
'Cause
right,
I don't have to
so-
worry about these damage on this initial come out roll, so this will be good.
Here you go.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks.
So discard the
he's gonna
lowest.
well, I'm gonna discard my lowest, and because Egg Robo, I'm gonna discard my highest. So I'm gonna get squeezed,
Yeah.
On both
either
ends.
side. All
which
right.
is fine if I can like get a 4/4 or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There we go. All right.
So lowest is a 1.
Lowest is a 1.
Highest is a 6.
Yep.
Oh, you have 2 5s.
Yep.
2 5s, 2 2s. That
Okay.
you could do this.
Yeah.
You could do that, but you would leave this for me, basically.
It's a co-op, right? All
Take one for the
I'm
team.
definitely doing 5/5.
These boss pattern cards, by the way, are not the same as zone cards. So whenever we remove them, they just get removed from the board.
So I'm gonna do 5/5.
Okay,
Okay, perfect.
so that removes that.
That removes that card, right?
Okay.
There's no penalties, nothing else on it. So this
Yeah.
is out. Okay. So now these are spent.
Yes.
And my blues still have their properties, correct?
Oh wait,
They do, right?
discard die with the highest result. Rings cannot be saved. Zone card reward.
Yeah.
And then when you spend, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because you don't have this.
I don't have
you
what
don't
you
have a
have.
neutron.
Yeah,
My
that would've
neutron
been
says
bad.
blues have no property. So you're good, actually.
I mean, am I winning here?
Are you winning?
I think coins in possession that are not saved still count for points, correct?
Yes. So at the end of the game, you'll still get 10 points per ring,
Okay.
regardless of whether it's held or if it's saved.
All right, I'm not going to be selfish. This is already hard enough to get to this position to beat the boss. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And I will finish off this card. I get no personal benefit in terms of scoring,
This is co-op.
but it's a co-op, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Monique, have your way with the red.
So you're ending your turn?
No
more
I
dice?
have no more dice.
All
That's it.
right. Let's
All right.
defeat Egg Robo. May I please have the Egg Robo attack card? Thank you.
Right.
So I have to roll my reds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a choice. So I'm going with a spin jump. So I do have to.
You need to roll a 4, but you need your 4 to not be your highest value
Correct.
because he'll wipe it out.
That's right. Okay. Please.
6. Oh, you're good.
Oh,
I think you did it.
we're good. That was great. That was great luck.
Did you want to? Yeah. Yeah.
Are these worth? These are not worth negative points, right?
I don't think so.
No, they're not. So the game does come with these player aids that tell you all the different scoring parameters. It's 10 points per rings, 20 points per small animal,
Yeah, you're
minus
doing
30 for
pretty
death
good.
tokens,
Yikes.
and then the points for your Chaos Emeralds, and of course the bonus for the zone. So it's okay to have bad nicks in front of you.
Yeah, you're gonna get another animal too.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's see.
Boom. So I've attacked the Egg Robo for the final time. I get this animal token. They've defeated. I believe in the video game there's like this whole explosion thing, if I remember correctly. But in any case, that is it.
Did it?
The game is over.
Yeah. Nice.
It is still a semi-co-op, so we are
Yeah.
going to calculate points. But at least we got this far.
Yeah,
And it
because
wasn't a failure.
we've lost a couple times.
We have lost.
Yeah,
It
playing
is
this
a
game.
dice rolling game at the end
Yeah.
of the day, so there is some luck there. But anywho, shall we score?
Sure.
All right, we are going to use that player aid to help us with scoring. First things first, let's calculate our time bonus. So this is basically who helped get here the fastest.
Me.
It's +3 speed per zone card.
All right.
I have 2 zone
I
cards.
have 4 zone cards.
So you're at 8. No, sorry, 3 speed. So you're at 12.
Yep.
And I'm at 6.
Okay.
-1 per time token. I have 1 time token.
Okay, I have none.
You have none?
Yep.
So I'm at 5 to your 12.
Yep.
So you get, in a 2-player game, 100 points.
Okay, so I have
There
100
is no
points.
second.
All right.
So that is going to be dependent on player count. Now, count your rings. So this is held and saved and unsaved.
Sure.
Okay, what is your final count?
I counted up 23 of these total.
23.
Yeah. 23 times 10, 230. So I'm at
230.
330 right now.
I have 17. I don't think I'm going to win this.
You have some animals.
I have 170.
170.
Okay, small animal tokens. Oh, I have a lot of small
You
animals.
do. I only have 2 of them.
They're worth 20 points each, so add 40 to your
So
score.
330 plus 40 makes it 370.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 20, that's 160. 160 plus 170, that is 330, right?
Yeah, 330.
330.
Okay.
Math. What are you
330
at?
to 370.
Death token.
Minus 30. So now I'm at
340.
340.
Oh, but you have a Chaos Emerald.
An unspent
So
Chaos Emerald.
plus 50.
So I'm at 390. I hope the math was right. If you're tracking along, this is trying to figure out live math right there. So
390 to 330.
330. And we defeated the boss.
And we defeated the boss.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty close.
Yeah.
I feel like I got really lucky with some of my rolls towards the end there.
The beginning, you were struggling.
I was struggling really bad.
I think there was 1 or 2 turns that maybe you did somewhat inefficiently.
I did. I remember I
Maybe
ended
rushed,
a turn
maybe I
pretty
think
early.
You rushed a decision.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
also don't think I was choosing my roll actions quite strategically in the first half of the game, but the second half treated me kindly.
I got into position and saved coins twice on 2 big saves, and then I was able to get that Chaos Emerald, which was really big for
Yeah,
me.
you had a lot of power-ups. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
But you were able to get into a position where you were gaining those.
Yep.
So now again, this game plays up to 4 players, and so there are 2 other characters that we did not get to showcase. We have Amy, who has a Pico Pico hammer. When you spend a red die, you can raise the result of the spent die by 1. And unlike Tails or anybody else, the 6 does wrap to a 1. And of course, we have Knuckles, the other really fast character, who has a secret passage. And so the secret passage is basically an extra route that only this character can play on.
Oh,
and if
gotcha.
completed, they get to go to the bonus stage. So that's actually neat.
Well, there you have it. That is Sonic Roll. If you are interested in this game, there's a link in the description down below, which you can check out. If you have any questions about anything you saw here, feel free to leave them in the comments. Try to get back to you as soon as we can. And thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.